Hey there, you're watching Go on Shaw TV, where this week we're talking all about an emergency, a coastal response emergency. Well, hello there. You are watching Go on Shaw TV. We are here at Canal Beach with a bit of debris behind the fence behind us here because we are talking about a coastal emergency. Exercise coastal response, an exercise training. Like, what is this? I don't even know what to call it, Russell.
You got it right, Nancy. Exercise Coastal Response. It's the province's initiative. They are going to be exercising the earthquake plan, and we were selected as the community to do that exercise here in the Alberni Valley. But there's also lots going on the coast in Ucluelet and Bamfield as well.
So that means this is an exercise to see how the emergency responders, the provincial emergency responders, would react in the case of an earthquake and a tsunami?
Exactly. So first time it's done in a major event like this. We know that there's been all sorts of emergencies, flooding, fires that the province has been responding to. But this will be an exercise that will see how communications and response is done in a major earthquake and tsunami. The premise is that a magnitude 8 earthquake hits the Alberni Valley, and then shortly after that we're hit with a tsunami that affects us as well.
And when will this be taking place?
So it's happening on June 7th to 10th here in the Alberni Valley. There will also be people practicing in Victoria and other parts of the province to ensure that communications and all those aspects of emergency response work well.
Well, this is going to be a very interesting time. We're going to be there with our cameras, and Russell will be back with you in a minute. Thanks for telling us about it. But before we talk to Russell or Maggie Hodge-Kwan, we're going to find out a little bit about how emergency responders train, because they do. And Jenny Fortin met up with a group of firefighters recently who were getting some hands-on training.
Cast your mind back to last summer, when the Alberni Valley was thick with smoke from the fire on Dog Mountain. The effects of this fire were felt throughout the entire valley, and although it wasn't nearly as devastating as the more recent fires in Fort McMurray or Slave Lake, the reality is that a substantial fire could easily happen in our own backyard.
We just got to be careful and be smart about what we're doing. We train for this. That's why they call us. We put all the training to do this to make sure we're safe and to keep the citizens safe.
That's right. When you're a firefighter, training is the name of the game.
Absolutely. Ask any firefighter, and usually the least popular person in the fire hall is the training officer, because they're the drill sergeant, so to speak, and but if you don't practice it, you lose it, right?
And at this year's fire training conference hosted in Port Alberni, firefighters from all over BC were getting hands-on experience putting out a simulated gas leak fire.
The simulation was to mimic a structure fire where we had our gas equipment damaged by the fire, and now it was further feeding the fire.
Step by step, the firefighters inched their way closer to shut down the gas leak. And each time they went over the scenario, the importance of getting in and out of the area safely was practiced and reinforced.
We've responded to many types of these incidents over the years, and we just want to be able to make sure that doing this in a scenario base, using as much of live fire as we can, that we can train for as much perfection as we can.
The nature of the business we're in, fire evolves, everything evolves, construction evolves, so we have to learn, unlearn, relearn. It's just the way it is, so it's an ongoing process. Every fire department's got to train, because that's what we have to do to be safe.
Rest assured that this hands-on experience will be extremely useful in a real-life situation.
It allows you to maybe look and find some errors in your own training and bring it back to the hall too, and then that way it just makes everybody safer, and it really does allow us to all get home safe at the end of the day.
And that's what being a firefighter is all about. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Jenny Fortin.
We're here on location at ADSS because there is an event coming up, and I have two lovely ladies from Mr. Roberts' leadership class to tell us about it. Maho, what's coming up?
On June 9th, we are having an event called Pancake Breakfast, which starts from 7 to 9 a.m.
And pancake breakfast, you can figure out what it is. You girls, you folks are serving pancakes. Where are you doing this?
We're doing this on location at ADSS in front of the school. We have a drive-through lane set up, so if you're in a car, you can come on by, or if you're attending ADSS, we have tables set up for you to eat.
So this is like a drive-through breakfast, and you're raising money for what?
Kids Sport. Last year we raised about $1,400, and we want to raise more this year.
$1,400 from one pancake breakfast. That's pretty good. How much do you charge for this meal?
It's a minimum of $2 donation, but anything counts, so we hope to see you guys there.
Drive-through pancakes, how cool is that? I'm guessing you're going to want to change your route, make sure that on your way to work you get some of those drive-through pancakes on the 9th. Now, we are still here at Canal Beach talking about exercise coastal response. And I'm here with Maggie Hodge-Kwan from the Regional District. Maggie, why exactly is this being done?
That's a great question. So this is being done because the province has developed something called the Earthquake Response Plan, which is a paper plan to say how the province would respond to an earthquake or other major emergency. Now, we all know that it's one thing to have a plan on paper versus having a plan and activating it. So this is a chance for the province to actually take that plan and apply it to some real world, real life situations to see where the strengths are and where there are opportunities to make it even better.
I'm guessing that this has to be totally invaluable information that you couldn't get unless there were maybe 2 earthquakes in a row, which you don't want to have happen.
No, we don't want that to happen. Exactly. So often in the world of emergency preparation and planning, there are sort of paper-based exercises and there's an imaginative scenario, and those are helpful, but to have places like this and opportunities for groups like the Port Authority and Heavy Urban Search and Rescue to come together and physically work through a potential scenario is a great opportunity for learning.
And Maggie, actually, you bring up a good point. That's why we are down here in front of the closed gates with some debris behind us, because during the exercise, those gates will be open and the emergency workers will be working in there.
Yes, absolutely. So fear not anyone who's worried about the debris down here. It's here for a purpose. And there are other sites around Port Alberni that will be used for these sorts of exercises as well. Highly used next week and then cleaned up after that.
Highly used and then cleaned up. Maggie, thank you so much. We're going to be back with Maggie and Russell in just a few minutes, finding out a bit about what you can expect during the exercise coastal response emergency preparation exercise. Before we do that, though, we're going to head out onto Art Avenue with our own Melissa Martin.
Welcome back to another edition of Art Avenue, coming to you from the grounds of the Roland Art Centre with some wonderful carvers in the background. They're here carving 5 pieces for the Roland Art Centre and 2 for Port Authority. They will be on the grounds at the Roland Art Centre and available for people to wander around through the Solstice Arts Festival. And here's what's happening at Shars Landing. On Saturday, June 11th is Toronto's Michael Coughlin Throwback Chevy Tour, and that's Roots singer-songwriter and storyteller. On Wednesday, June 22nd is Western Canadian Tour of Ian Reid, and he's a singer-songwriter and electric folk and ukulele. And on Thursday, June 23rd is Sarah Smith, and that's a rock duo. So if you're interested in any of those concerts, stop by Shars Landing for your advance tickets today. Well, that's it for another edition of Art Avenue, but a few reminders before I go. The Solstice Arts Festival tickets are available at Shars Landing as well as the Roland Art Centre, and that is for a weekend pass. So certainly stop in and get your tickets today. And also 2 RTs on the terrace. There's only going to be 4 this summer, and that's for July and August. Tickets are available right here at the Roland Art Centre. And certainly come in and check out these wonderful, magnificent pieces of artwork that are being created here on the grounds at the Roland Art Centre. So until next time, I'm Melissa Martin for Art Avenue.
We're here on location at Stage West School of Performing Arts in Port Alberni, and Julie Martel, you've got something big coming up.
Yes, we do. We have our annual year-end show. This year we are doing Beauty and the Beast, and it features all of our dancers from 3 years old and up, and with our senior dancers playing the lead characters. And our second half is comprised of our recreational dancers as well as our festival pieces that have been competing during the year.
And this is a big deal. I know your students have been practicing for a long time. When is it happening?
It's happening next Friday and Saturday, June 10th and 11th at ADSS at 6:30 p.m.
Who should come out to this?
Everyone should come out to this. Little ones will love it. We follow the fairy tale pretty accurately. So if the little ones have seen the movie, they're going to love it. And, you know, young and old, dance is for everyone in this community.
Dance is for everybody. Julie, thank you so much for telling us about it. Make sure you come on out to the Stage West School of Performing Arts year-end show.
Hello again. We're now on the letter H. And one of the first words we have for the H, it sounds H, just like the H in the English alphabet. And the word for that is huyal. Huyal, as in dancing. And another word for that is haatshoopsen, which are eyelashes. Haatshoopsen. And then we have the back H. We make that sound when we're cleaning our glasses, like it's a back H. And one of the words for that are hayu, as in the number 10, or hotwith, which is a chief. Chooch, that's all for now. See you next time.
I'm really enjoying our quick lessons in New Channel. So Deb Masso, Kleko, thank you so much. Now we're going to take a very quick break, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back. You are still watching Go on Shaw TV. We are still talking about Exercise Coastal Response, the emergency preparation exercise that is taking place right here in the Alberni Valley. And I'm here with Russell Dyson and Maggie Hodge-Kwan. Maggie, are the general public going to notice that something's going on?
Not really, no. So the exercise will bring a lot of extra folks to town, which they may notice, but the sites won't interrupt business as usual and everyone's day-to-day living.
So that means that there are no roadblocks going up?
That's right.
However, Maggie was speaking a little bit earlier about some of the debris piles around town. There has been public concern. There's one down the Port Authority property right next to Can Timber that was created specifically for this exercise.
Yes, and there's a number of these sites around town, but they're all closed. They're not in the open public. So generally people won't be seeing much in terms of these areas, and there won't be any safety issues or inconvenience to the public.
And how long will it be before we know how everybody did in this? Is there a report being made about this?
Oh yes, that's key to all of this. There will be evaluators on site in every aspect of the exercise that will give us feedback. That will be ongoing over the next couple of weeks after the exercise.
And I think it's kind of cool. It kind of puts us in the prime #1 spot. If we do have an earthquake and a tsunami that affects Port Alberni, we're really going to know how to react.
Absolutely. And one of the great things about this exercise is that it's really prompted local residents to get prepared, and we've seen a lot of people come in looking for preparedness information, and we are really confident in the citizens of the Alberni Valley to be ready for an emergency.
Well, I'm really confident in your ability to plan this exercise. Thank you so much for telling me about it today. Shaw is going to be there during the exercise with our cameras, so we'll be able to tell you a little bit about it after the fact as well. Let you know what's going on and just how well everybody did. Now, we are getting close to the end of our show, but before we say goodbye, we are going to tag along on one of the coolest English classes ever. Field trips. Those educational staples that take students out of their classroom in order to experience what they're learning about firsthand. But the subject of this field trip might surprise you. These grade 4-5 Wood Elementary students are teaming up with a grade 9 class from the high school and heading into the woods as part of their English class.
It connects nicely with our novel study, The Hatchet. In that story, there's a boy that's lost in the woods and he needs to build a shelter and a fire to survive.
These are little branches I just picked up on the road. When you've got a group going, some of the men and women, boys and girls, should be building the shelter and collecting. Others should be dedicated as firewood collectors. Don't go very...
Yes, they're building shelters, and along the way, getting some expert advice on wilderness survival and fire safety in the woods.
Yeah, you can only learn so much from words on a page, and it's so important to get out there and connect with nature and do some hands-on learning.
It's an experience for them to get out and really connect their learning in the classroom to the outside world. It's amazing how focused they become when they're working on activities like this.
Focused, energetic, engaged students, something that teachers everywhere aim for in their classrooms, and especially important in this English class, where, as one student points out, not everybody likes reading.
Some kids don't. They think it's boring, but they probably think, yeah, who cares? It's just a book. It wouldn't happen to us, but now they're actually experiencing that, what Brian was doing, so they might think it's fun.
They are gaining insight into their novel by sharing the experiences of the main character. But there's more to it than that. These students are connecting with nature, something that more and more studies show is essential to well-being.
Absolutely. Nowadays, with all the technology and so on that's sort of keeping kids inside a little bit more, it's so good for them to get out and to open their minds to what we have outside in our world, and hopefully from this they go on to enjoying that and nature in the future.
Enjoying nature and enjoying reading, all while picking up some wilderness survival skills. Their final mark, an A in enthusiasm. For Go on Shaw TV, I'm Nancy Wilmot.
Hi, my name's Gwyn Hunt. I'm with Art Matters Society. We're producing the Festival of Artistic and Creative Expression as part of the Solstice Festival, the Solstice Arts Festival, June 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's going to be at the Capitol Theatre, at the Roland Arts Center, and on the street. You'll have some art rave stuff going on. Art Matters is doing a lot of shows at the Capitol. We're doing a children's play called New MacDonald Has a Farm. It's about sustainability, and the kids are really cute, so you should come and see that. We've also got a summertime radio play, Curse of the Pharaoh's Tomb. We have some out-of-town people coming. We have Andrew Wade, who was here a while back. He did the Mad Hatter. He's coming back doing the Mad Hatter and William versus the World. And we've also got Katrina Kadowski from Victoria. She's coming up to do Cougar Annie. And we have I wrote a play called The Tin Box that we're doing at 8:30 on the Saturday night at the Capitol. And we also have some stuff going on the street. We're doing psychedelic Shakespeare, and we're also doing Shirley You Jest, a puppet show. And we'll be at the Roland Arts Center and also on the street. You can find us at the on the street in front of Shars Landing and the Capitol Theatre as part of Art Rave, and we have a psychedelic Shakespeare tent. And if you want to get any more information, you can check out mainartery.net, or you can go to Facebook and check out the Main Artery page, or you can go to the Solstice page on Facebook as well.
Well, that does bring us to the end of another Go on Shaw TV. And you know, if there's any takeaway message from today's show, it's that we need to be prepared. So until we meet again, put together that grab and go kit.